penmanship. I love teaching penmanship. I hear parents say, oh, my kids just don't write well, I don't write well, they just don't write well because I don't write well. Or my kids don't write well because they're left-handers, or all these different reasons. But I am here to tell you that every single person on this earth can have good handwriting if you choose to, okay? So I am going to teach penmanship. Now when I teach you how to form a letter, how to make a letter, guess what? After I teach you how to make it, then I expect you to do it. I don't get to just take the time to teach you how to do it and then let you continue writing your letters any old way just so that you can say you're writing in cursive. There's a correct way of writing cursive and a not correct way, okay? So we're gonna have a good time learning cursive. I won't be real hard on you as long as I know you're doing your best. But now if I know you can do better, then I'm going to insist that you do better, okay? I want everyone to always do their best. Don't think, oh, I can't do it. I can't make my words nice. Because I believe you can. I know you can, okay? If you will do your letters exactly the way Miss McDermott is showing you, alrighty? So you may pause the video and get out a clean sheet of paper. Well, get out a clean sheet of, do I want you to pause the video now? Pause it whenever you need to, but get out your clean sheet of paper and a pencil, and we will be ready to start. We pause now, I guess. Okay, so the first thing we need to do in our penmanship is to head our paper up. You know, Miss McDermott's big on the headings of the papers being done correctly. On the top line of every paper we ever do, if it is a lined paper, it is always the subject of what you're doing. Penmanship. It's 3 words. There's the word pen, there's the word man, and there's the word ship. Penmanship. Penmanship. Okay? And then your name goes on the second line and your date. Now, if this were a test, whether it would be a spelling test or a Bible test or a penmanship test, anything that we would write on lined paper, you would need to write the word test after it, okay? I have a lot of papers coming to me on a lot of different days, and it gets really kind of mind-boggling some days. So be sure that if it is a test, whatever subject it is, that you always write test after it, okay? Be sure that your paper is always headed up and headed up the way I ask you to. As we get further on, a few more weeks into school, I won't accept papers not headed up the way that I've asked you to and showed you to. When I show you something, I expect you to do it the way that I show you to. That's part of learning to be responsible, okay? All right, so here we go. Penmanship, name and date. We always, no matter what subject we're doing, we skip the next line, okay? So our first letter that we are going to make is capital A. So I want you to look closely. Capital A, it starts just under our top line. I hope y'all can see my dot I put there. Sometimes I'm not sure how much you guys can see from the videos, but there's my dot. So my capital A is going to start just under the top line. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to my top line and curve around and keep curving, come all the way down to the bottom line. I'm going to make a touch. I'm going to curve back up, close up my circle, retrace back down, and put a tail on it. And that's how we make capital A. Now, a lot of times, I see children do this. Let's see, what do they do? How do they do it? They come over here, and they do this, and then they're trying to do all of that. Now, did you do what I asked, or did I do what I asked you to do, or what I showed you before? No, that is not how we make a capital A. And I can tell you're not doing it the right way because look how this is curved over here. You literally start under the line, you curve up to the line, curve around and down, close it up, retrace back down, and put a tail on it. Okay? So that is how we make our capital A. You may pause the video and write capital A 5 times. Okay, now, so for lowercase a, since we're doing our penmanship and we want it to look nice and beautiful, let's skip a line. And now for lowercase a, it's made exactly the same as capital A, it's just shorter. So you're going to pretend that this line is divided, okay? You're going to pretend there's a line dividing it in half. So now your lowercase a is going to start just under your pretend divided line, okay? And you're going to, and if you need to make a dotted line, you do that. You do whatever you need to do to learn how to make it properly, and then later on you won't need the dotted line anymore. But do what you need to do. I'm fine if I see dotted lines across that paper. That's telling me, boy, this child is really wanting to learn how to do this properly. If you need to do that, you do it. All right? So we're going to curve up to the dotted line, around and down to the bottom line, close it up, retrace down, swing out with a tail. Okay, watch again. And if you even need to put your dot on there, do that. Okay, so here's my dot. I'm going up to my pretend dotted line, curving around. I'm closing it up. I'm retracing down. I'm swinging out with a smile. So you are going to make 5 lowercase a's on this line. You may pause the video and do so. All right, so now we are ready to make capital B, okay? So capital B, well, let's go ahead and skip our line. Capital B is made like this. It's got a few more steps in it, but it still comes out to be a nice looking letter, okay? So capital B begins a little bit under the top line, just like our capital A did. But what we're going to do with this is we're going to come to our dot, or just under our top line, and we're going to kind of curve up, and then we're going to come slanted down to the bottom line, okay? We're going to retrace back up. We're going to curve around, put a half circle on there, put a little loop-de-loo in there, curve around again, come up, and we're going to swing out. So capital B is a little bit more, has a few more steps in there. But that is how we make our capital B. So now watch again. Let me show you something real quick not to do. So here we go. I'm swinging up for my capital B to the top line. I'm coming down to the bottom line. I'm retracing back up. Did I retrace? If you see a loop-de-loo in your retrace line, then you didn't retrace. You made a loop-de-loo. Okay? So be sure that you're retracing back up. Stay on that line. Okay? So here we go. Slant up, down, retrace back up, put a loop-de-loo in there, put a curly Q in there, da-da-da, and da-da-da. That is our capital B. Okay, do your best. In your yellow folder, you have your cursive writing sheet. You know, your laminated sheet. If you want to get that out and look at that as you're doing it, follow the arrows on there, then go ahead and do that. Make 5 B's on this line. You may pause the video. All right, y'all ready? So now we are going to, oh, we have to write little b. I was fixing to go on to capital C, but we got to write little b. So little b, let's skip a line. Little b's are pretty easy. So you're going to start on the bottom line for little b. You're going to slant up to the top line. You're going to curve around and come all the way back down to the bottom line. You're going to swing about halfway up the line, retrace back down just a little bit, and put a smile on your b. That's how we make a little b. Okay, watch again. We're slanting up to the top line. We're curving around, coming back down to the bottom line, swinging halfway up the line, retracing back down just a little bit, and put a smile on. That's our b, our little b. Okay? So you may go ahead and make 5 B's on your line. Pause the video. All right, so next we are going to write capital C. Now I'm going to erase these because I'm running out of room. You guys will skip a line down here under letter B, under our lowercase b, you're going to skip a line. Now I'm just coming up here because I ran out of room. Everybody understands that, right? Don't start doing something crazy on your paper and erasing stuff. I just am because I didn't have any more board to work on, okay? All right, so for our capital C, this is going to be under lowercase b. It's not too bad, capital C, is it? So you're going to start on, your pencil is going to be on the top line. You're going to come down and circle around, go back across the top, curve all the way around to the bottom line, and swing up. And that is our capital C. Okay, watch me again. I'm starting on the line. and I'm curving out and circling around, back across the top, coming down, and swinging up. That is capital C. So you are going to make 5 capital C's on your line. You may pause the video. Okay, now we are ready to make lowercase c. So to make lowercase c, you're going to have that dotted line in mind, like we did for our letter A. And lowercase c might be one of the easiest letters, one of the easiest to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to start right under through your dotted line, just like you do for A. You're going to go up to our dotted line, curve around just like you do for A, curve up and stop. Don't close it up, and that's our lowercase c. Okay? Here we go, one more time. Under our dotted line, you can even make a dot if you need to. Curve up to the dotted line, curve around, come up, and don't close it up. That's our lowercase c. Okay? So you may make 5 lowercase c's, and you may pause the video to do that. All right, so that is our writing for today. Be sure that anytime, I know some of y'all have already been trying to write in cursive, and I certainly appreciate that, but be sure now, in the midst of doing that, be sure that you are making your capital A's, lowercase a's, capital B's, lowercase b's, capital C's, and lowercase c's, just the way we did on our papers today, okay? I'm excited to see you guys work. Why don't you do this for me? Why don't you get your red pens before you put your papers in your folders or in your packets to come back to me. Get your red pen, and I want you to go through each row, and I want you to find your favorite letter or the best letter in each row and put a smile face above it for me. And then I can look at those. I can go straight to those and say, wow, what an amazing job, okay?